And good morning, everyone. Good morning, Callum. Is it you?
It's me. Got a mask on. You say good morning. It's weird because for one of the rare times I'm in the same time zone as you, it's not morning, it's afternoon. It's like people having their lunch right now.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening for all of you watching us on umbraCoffee. And it's not a fake background in Callum's scene.
This is real. This is the De Fabric in Utrecht, and you can see behind me. In fact, Pornima's talk is still ongoing. I'm not in the studio right this second, but I will give you a little tour in a minute, and we can go and have a look.
Yeah, I asked on the chat if anyone else is doing multitasking right now, because I've been doing it since morning. I've been trying to watch some of the parts of Dutch Festival as well, some of the work, of course. Right now umbraCoffee. So if you are watching it right now, big kudos, big high five for you. If you are watching Dutch Festival, that's also big high five. That's exactly for what it's done. So Callum, you're in Utrecht. There is a Dutch Festival, the first Umbraco online virtual conference like that, which I must say, I said it before we went live, it looks so pro. And I'm as a speaker, I can also say that I was handled again extremely high quality. Everything was tested, prepared. I mean, how it looks from the event, from the place where we are.
It is certainly incredibly pro, and we'll take you behind the scenes of the brains of the operation in a minute. But there is a lot going on. It's all very fluid. So like at any moment, someone's audio might drop, and people have to jump on that. At any moment, one of the hosts might be asked a question by the speaker currently, and we've got to spring into action. But it's very, very interesting. For me, I do a lot of events. Unfortunately, not this year, but in-person events, they've just disappeared. And whilst this isn't an in-person event, it's definitely got the Umbraco community spirit, which was a big concern for doing a virtual Umbraco event. But this definitely has it, so that's awesome.
Yeah, that's great, and I said that I'm totally jealous that you are all there, even if it's not like usual event, but it's a different type of event. We need to get used to it. Hi, Arnold. Hey. Is it you? Hey, how are you? Join us for a second if you have a time.
Yeah, we were just saying
how it's going.
Impressed that there's still the Umbraco energy.
Yeah, we're trying our very best. I mean, it has been a lot of work and a lot of changes on a weekly till daily basis in the last week, because the corona measurement in the Netherlands were increased last week, so we couldn't host more than 30 people per room, and people were told to work from home and not visit events. So it's been interesting and complex. So I'm quite happy that we can still do the atmosphere, and things are going quite well.
Yeah, definitely.
So I hope it was worth all the work from the last months, and certainly from the last weeks, because
you've been incredibly busy.
Yes, and I'm happy I'm very happy that this day is here, but I'm also very happy when this day is over, because
as always, as all the event organizers. But yeah, you're doing an amazing job, guys. All of you that are involved in this event. We can all see it from the outside. For anyone who is not watching, or maybe you missed the information about the event, the link is below here. It's live right now. To show it how it looks, I stopped the stream because I didn't want to get interrupted between two source controls. But right now it was a Purnima's talk about Blazor. The next is Lauren about discovering Azure. The whole agenda looks amazing. It has a great speakers. The amazing talks were already performed. Bushra, Emmanuel, Leonard, and other Lars, for example, were giving an amazing talks, which are both about Umbraco and about the different other topics which are possibly in the circle of interest of Umbraco developers. And agenda is fully packed till 8:30 in Europe and Warsaw, where you will be doing some kind of not in pub quiz, Callum. And
it's a pub quiz, not in a pub. But I encourage you to watch the stream currently, because there's going to be prizes. And some of the questions rely on you watching some of the talks. There's going to be hidden nuggets in people's talks that you might might win you a prize later. So
But
that's good.
I really like this idea. I've seen it on some online courses recently that people are doing some puzzles from information hidden in some videos. So it's encouraged people to watch all the talks, and that's exactly for what it's done. You need to watch, you need to learn, you need to then use this knowledge, because as in every kind of presentation and events, the most important part is after the event, where you are implementing things which you heard of. So yeah, that's cool. I'm also doing a talk today at 7 p.m. Warsaw time. I can't wait to be on the second side as well there. So yeah, everyone who wants to learn something new, the talks will be available after all. But
absolutely, they're all being recorded, so the live stream is there all day. But of course, the videos are going to be sliced up and individually available as well very shortly after.
Yeah. And a lot of people were sharing this vibe today. I know. I went on Twitter today in the morning and say, "Oh, it looks like almost every normal festival buzz before the event. People are watching from their sofas, from homes, from offices. There's how the studio looks like in some of the tweet videos.
Yes.
Hank sneaked into the behind the scenes, and yeah, it looks amazing. So people, if you are watching, if you are learning something new, if you want to support organizers, speakers, and anyone else who is doing an amazing job to make it done, tweet, share about it, and let anyone else know about it as well, because it's done for us, for all of the people. So yeah, that's about the event. Callum, you will do the round trip around the studio right now,
well,
or
do you want me to? Shall I take you on a little tour quickly before we dive into other news from this week? Because there's also been a lot happening this week too. So this room was used up until just now, actually, for a gold partner summit for some Dutch gold partners. There was only a few people in the room. In fact, the majority of people joined virtually. So since we've been just streaming the sessions going on next door in here. They're just gearing up now to let Laurent speak, and he's going to be away in a second. But what's going on simultaneously is lunch, one of the most important parts of the day, of course. Only second to breakfast with donuts. So in here we've got, as you can see, a small collection of people, and they're all eating, having their lunch, which has been graciously prepared for us by the team and delivered on a nice cart.
Nice.
And of course, everyone here, whilst not eating, has to wear a mask, and they're being pretty good about ensuring that this is enforced. There's Umbraco swag and DUUG swag available, but also a lot of hand sanitizer and masks to make sure that it's safe. In terms of the studio, this is where it gets extra special, and I'm just going to peek in and check that we can go in.
Okay.
No, we need to give it a couple of minutes.
Cool. We go back. We will go back to that maybe after the news section.
I'm allowed. I will just show you quickly. So behind me, you can see the set. We have floor, and Lawrence is currently talking. There's that big table. The big table means that we can stay sat 1.5 meters away from each other at all times, which is great. And here is the kind of nerve center, the brains of everything going on. We have Mark Dyker behind me, who's been controlling the video feed. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
And we've also got, this is where Henk has been sitting. As you can see, there is so many screens here. It's enough to make enough to make any nerd really excited. But yeah, this is literally the room where everything goes on. We've got 4 different cameras set, video angles, so proper cameras and proper studio lighting as well.
Cool. It looks like a pro-built setup, a Microsoft conference, which we were always admiring. How they are doing the live events so great, and it just looks like Umbraco community went again to beyond the standard level. And
of course, there's still some Umbraco touches. You've got a unicorn hiding behind me there. There's a unicorn over here too, in the corner there.
Awesome.
It's definitely got the vibe that you'd expect from an Umbraco event.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing to see. Once again, big kudos for all the organizers and people involved. And let's see, let's take as much as we can from the talks, from the everything around that.
And here's Henk, who's basically done all.
Hi, Hank.
Well done.
Hey. How are you, Hank? how's the things from the organizer perspective? Everything is going smooth?
It's busy, but it's going well. Everything works.
There's been no serious hiccups.
We didn't have echo in the stream, so that was
That's amazing.
Amazing. Well, we'll let you get on with your lunch because he's a busy guy.
That's great. But yeah, that's great. Let's see where it will go. Umbraco is also doing some of the talks as well, and we'll be sharing the news and keynotes from the HQ perspective, because it was from the other point of view, it was also an amazing week in Umbraco community. We've seen a new release of Umbraco 8.8. Which is I was surprised yesterday because I was upgrading one of the projects and my demo for today, and I've seen, okay, 8.8 is stable now. I can grab it and I can use it. So yeah, it was released. So and there is also a great blog post from Philip, which is highlighting everything what's new in Umbraco 8.8.
There is a lot of community contributions in this one. I saw Umbraco you gave some shout outs on Twitter just a few moments ago, but loads and loads of community contributions, which is
179
awesome.
Exactly, wow. To be honest.
And some first time pull requests as well. And this is before Hacktoberfest has even happened. It's going to be crazy next month, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know what pull request that is, but apparently there's one from me in there.
It's linked here. We can all check it. It's open source. But yeah, that's amazing. And yeah, we can all play and see 8.8 in action or upgrade existing solutions. Callum, you mentioned your contributions, and as we've been also seeing some news from you about Hacktoberfest, which is our next topic. You are going to be live streaming your contributions.
Yeah,
nice idea.
I've decided. Partly this is partly there to actually motivate me to get on and do it. I've got some time each week set aside to do this contribution, so that's good. But yeah, every Wednesday, so 4 Wednesdays for the 4 Hacktoberfest contributions, I'm going to do a live stream of what I'm working on for maybe like half an hour or an hour at a lunchtime, Wednesday lunchtime, and walk people through it, and that's on Twitch.
So let's follow Callum on Twitch and join him on Wednesdays to see what he is going to work on. That's an amazing idea to motivate yourself. And 1 hour is still more than nothing. What might be as a result of someone who wants to do something but cannot force himself or herself to do it. And speaking about Hacktoberfest, of course, it started. It's 2nd of October already. I had somewhere a link to the main site of Hacktoberfest, but we've been speaking about the idea. It's about contributing to open source, motivating yourself to elevate your skills, to learn something new, to do something valuable for the projects. But also we've seen a second side of it.
Some people think it's about getting free T-shirts.
Yes, but it's more exposed this year. We've been all seeing those issues in the previous years, but this year, maybe because of the fact that we are more closed at homes and stuff like that, more people wants to contribute, more people wants to do something. It's being discussed a lot that it's sometimes harmful or not the way how it's supposed to be for the maintainers and from various projects. And we've seen a hashtag Spamtoberfest, which is highlighting some of the crazy stuff.
Open source maintainers were not happy. Literally, as the clock struck midnight on Thursday, yesterday, they were getting bombarded with spam and pull requests, literally just changing white space, or someone doing clearly a find and replace on the word he and replacing it with they, or simple things. And when you look at the GitHub usernames, a lot of them end in numbers or start with numbers. It's likely that it's all bots. But because of the way that Hacktoberfest is engineered, it's designed to support people and community. They kind of assume that everyone's going to be contributing in a positive way. And yet, unfortunately, that's kind of came back to bite them a bit. So there's a few additional things that they're going to put in place. An ability to mark pull requests as spam more easily. They've also, which is a really interesting move, they've opened it up to say pull requests to your own repositories count. And the hope is that takes some of the burden. Okay, whatever, they get a free t-shirt and they didn't really earn it, but it takes some of the burden off open source maintainers from actually having to, wade through tons of rubbish pull requests.
Yeah, because from the perspective of maintainer, it's always good to have contributions, but they need to put some
They need to be
really input
valuable.
and
They need
yeah,
to be
they need to
valuable.
be.
There's only
And,
so many times that someone can contribute a fix to a README file. There's very legitimate reasons to contribute that, but when it's your only contribution, you start to question the value of it. It could legitimately be someone's first pull request, and you don't want them being put off by that.
yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah, it's tricky. GitHub interestingly released a new feature too, which is now an ability to restrict contributions for a set period of time. So if a single project's being bombarded, you can turn off contributions for a defined period, which is great as well. It's like vacation mode. If I'm going on holiday and I don't want GitHub disturbing me, I can just say, I don't want any contributions for a week.
Yeah, but also Hacktoberfest and DigitalOcean released an official statement because there was blog posts like that flying around with people highlighting various points, pretty fair points as well about the dangers of this type of activity. And they released a Hacktoberfest update, which was about exactly this issue, that we are doing whatever they can do to stop it or help maintainers. There is a new labels and there is a new extended period of validation of the pull request, so they can validate them more carefully. So it's not just done to grab t-shirts or plant trees by someone who wants to just change the white spaces. It needs to mean something, and if we can use this space, we can use our umbraCoffee for highlighting it again. If you want to do something meaningful during the Hacktoberfest, 4 pull requests is enough. You don't need to do 150 or 600 of them.
Unless you're Ken Jacobson.
Unless you're a Ken Jacobs, yeah. But they are all needs to be meaningful. It's easier to make 4 pull requests which counts than 40 pull requests which just give you a free T-shirt. It's not the point of Hacktoberfest, I would say, from the original space. And if you can go to that, because what I like in Umbraco the most in this case is like Umbraco is always setting their own rules since 2 years probably. There were own rules, there were own interpretations for what Hacktoberfest can be used in the Umbraco community, and it was also highlighted in this blog post here. And I know that Umbraco is also doing the best efforts to make it count, to make it valuable, to not cause a spam to just went into the Umbraco project. So please, everyone who wants to contribute to Umbraco, just read this blog post. It highlights everything with the meaning of the labels, where the help is really wanted, and how we can improve where the help is really needed. And yeah, I really like this part. And of course, package contributors and package creators also are waiting for help, which is
a big move as well, because Umbraco obviously do their own Hacktoberfest celebration, which has added bonus of extra swag or trees if you want it, which is a motivation for Umbraco community to contribute to Umbraco. You only have to do 1 pull request to Umbraco, by the way. So maybe use your other 3 for
one approved.
One approved pull request. So maybe use your other 3 for something else. But it's nice to see that the Umbraco community is not just the Umbraco products. It's actually contributing to the Umbraco ecosystem, anything in the ecosystem.
Yep. And something what was sneaked through this post as well is the set of events which are around this activity from the Umbraco community perspective. So of course today's event is also helping to boost it, hopefully to motivate ourselves to do more with Umbraco in general. There is a Candid Contributions Hackathon which is scheduled for 16th and 17th of October. So no experience is necessary if you want to contribute. If you want to make it count and make it valuable, just probably it's better to join people who already did it and who can help you to do something better with your intentions. And there is a lot of Q&A and helpful resources here to make it really well for the Umbraco and the Umbraco project and community as well. So yeah, that's Hacktoberfest. And also next week there is an Umbraco London meetup where there's a community contribution celebration.
Because we're now virtual, we've alternated between doing talks and discussion type meetups, and it means that we need to make our talk meetups a little bit more special. And so we've had an accessibility meetup before, but now we're also doing a contribution or a Hacktoberfest type thing, highlighting the work people are doing. It's going to be a really nice event, I think. I encourage people to join if they can. It's Thursday.
Thursday, October 8th. Yeah, that's cool, and it's virtual. Everyone can join. You don't need to be in London to do that. Amazing. That's from the events perspective. But we also had some package releases and sneak peeks. One of them is Poptin. It's pop-ups and embedded contact us forms which are integrated from the third-party tool. It looks really cool. It's something what I'm researching a lot recently. It's like integrating tools which are doing their job into the Umbraco websites or websites in general. I didn't know about Poptin. I know it. I knew about it from this package, but it looks like exactly for what it was done. So pop-ups, modal windows, some kind of call to actions which can be embedded on the sites from the tool. So if anyone is looking for things like that, just get and check it. It's something pretty fresh, released 2 days ago.
Very nice.
And there's also a package which we probably missed last week. I don't know if we've talked about it. It's content node icons, and I was extremely curious how it works because it allows to set icon of the doc type straight from the Umbraco back office. So from here, and I assume maybe Mark can reply to that at some point, that it also changes it on the doc type level, right? Because it needs to be changed in the doc type. So. I'm interested how it can work with using or changes of
the tree rendering
maybe
and writing it at the tree level. Very interesting.
But that's pretty cool. And I've seen a lot of projects where editors or people who are at the end using the Umbraco back office may just tailor it for their needs. Might do it on their own. That's pretty cool. I'm really curious. I've seen it today, and I need to check it out. That's the truth. And there were also two new sneak peeks. One of them is the member list view, which is coming soon. And Robert Foster just teased us about it on Twitter. So it's a list view control and editor for member types and member lists. And two major, really big additions for vendor this week. It's vendor deploy and vendor using, which are
is an absolute game changer.
yes, exactly. But also game changer in terms of integrating packages with something what we might know from normal Umbraco ecosystem.
Yeah.
It's like two packages helping to deploy changes from vendor in this case through the Umbraco deploy, which is working on cloud right now. But we also know that there is an on-prem version coming to be used and using as well. So new extension.
Big kudos to Matt here for supporting both options because we like options as developers. If you're using Umbraco Cloud, usync doesn't play so well. If you're using non-Umbraco Cloud, well, you've not got an option other than usync. So it's great to have the choice there.
Yeah, exactly. And also from Twitter, we've seen that they're really well communicating the changes, and there were also kudos sent to Kevin Jump for helping in contributing and making this happen for vendor. So it's great to see that community is collaborating in supporting each other and supporting other packages as well. Maybe it's a good segue to support, because also this week we've seen a tweet from Mike Macy, which highlighted how Umbraco helps also not in terms of development, but also in terms of kind of mental health support and general as a community. I was also delightful to see this publicly. I know Umbraco sent flowers for example, for event organizers and things like that, chocolates for some of the most recognized community contributions. That's always great to see that, and here again, cheers and enjoy, Mike, and hope that this kind of small movement,
I'm very jealous of the friendly face mask.
Yes,
they are much better than the ones that I had made that had the logo and like a pig. But they're really cool. A few people here have got them as well.
Yeah, and I still remember those chocolates. I'm more jealous for those chocolates right now, but mask is looking also cool. But yeah, that's great to see that, Umbraco, we've been also telling it more than once that Umbraco is not only software, it's not only about technology, it's about people, and there are always people behind the scenes who are doing small movements like that, which make all of us cheer up. And speaking about helping from Umbraco side, we also seen some blog posts this week which are on the end of our list today, starting from 18 tips for new developers starting their career in web development. So something for people who wants to not only start contributing, but also start to, I don't know, learn to code or write first lines of code. 5 senior developers from various of companies oriented around Umbraco Gold partners, of course, in this case, shared their tips for developers who wants to start. And I relate to all of them. It's really good to see those notes and also refresh, not only as a starting developer, but also as a senior or more advanced developers to just learn how we can improve.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Callum, if you've seen this week, I retweeted it, but it was a really nice story flying around the Twitter.
This is great. This is the ex-convict who went
Yes.
on to the job in software development, which
Exactly.
just shows about actually paying kindness forward and giving people chances and stuff, how important that is. Something I think that the Umbraco community gets, but maybe
Exactly.
the wider, this is the San Francisco Bay Area software community. Maybe they don't quite get it.
But that's also why I thought that it might relate to this topic, because we were all starting somewhere. There are people who are starting every day. If we can help them, they're starting from various starting points. Maybe as an ex-convict, maybe they were learning it in prisons like that, like in this case. But also in other cases where we can support, where we as a communities can help, and that's an amazing story to just relate to and see what can be done if the motivation is set up correctly and there is a goal in mind.
So,
and maybe if we'll get those skills, or someone who will get those skills, they will build amazing things like new amendments or additions to Umbraco products, which were also highlighted this week, which is a preview API coming to Umbraco Hardcore, and great blog post from Morten highlighting what it is, for what it can be used, and how it works. So great feature which was awaited for all the headless hardcore implementations.
Yeah, and by the sounds of it, from talking with Rasmus and Morten, that this is actually the foundations that they built for GraphQL to make that scalable and work are the foundations now being applied to make things like the preview API, and in future maybe a more robust content API possible, which is awesome.
Yeah. And for the content, the follow up with the block list editor, we've been saying that
really a deep dive.
Yes, that's for a big coffee for sure, but also a great addition, because we've talked about it last week, that the video which we've done with Niels was used for learning about the block list editor, and here Niels also transferred it all into a big book of knowledge about the block list editor, examples, possibilities, features, everything about block list editor in the current shape. So if anyone is still looking for more resources to learn how it works, what it can do, it's all there. And yeah, that's it from our list of news. Callum, what's happening in your side?
Lunch is happening, but we've got a packed rest of the day. Dave has just waved some Umbraco socks at me, which I'm definitely taking home. That's awesome. There's Umbraco socks here. I've been wanting those for ages. But we've got some fantastic talks lined up. Scott Hanselman, I said this on the introduction this morning. We've been trying to get Scott Hanselman at an Umbraco event, be it a festival or Code Garden. I know that the HQ team, even when Pear was at HQ, were trying to get Hanselman. This is the first event that's actually had Hanselman, even though it's a virtual event and he won't really be here. But we've got a talk from him. We've also got the keynote from Bjarke and from Philip later today, which will be good. That'll be an introduction to what's going on in the product. So that's both .NET Core and I guess in some of the latest releases we've talked about as well. And then a bit of fun towards the end of the day, the quiz and your talk, of course. Encourage people to tune in for that.
Yeah, that's great to see that. So people, let's just join there, support each other and learn. Exactly. And again, big kudos for all the organizers for making it happen. I can't wait to rewatch some of the talks after all. And yeah, that's all. So Callum, enjoy. Say hi to everyone who is there, and just send a big high five to them if they didn't receive it from here. But thank you all for watching.
If you want to continue your fun a little bit, right now, if you go onto the DUUG stream, there is going to be a live performance by Nerd Disco, and they're going to do some songs. So yeah, go have a listen to that maybe whilst you finish your coffee. Be good fun.
Yeah, exactly. And as usual, we'll see each other next Friday. Thank you all for watching us. Like, subscribe, share, and see you next Friday. Cheers.
Bye.